Alright, boys and girls, welcome to a resource video that you can use to better your understanding of matrix multiplication. Alright, here we go. Okay, matrix multiplication. When multiplying two matrices, and this is not scalar multiplication, now this is matrix multiplication. You take the sum of the product of the rows of the first and you multiply them by the columns of the second matrix. In other words, we're going to do some multiplication and some adding. Okay, and it is important that the number of columns in the first matrix is equal to the number of rows in the second matrix. So if I want to multiply two matrices, and I have a first matrix, and it is let's say it's a 2 by 3 matrix, and I have a second matrix that is a 3 by 1 matrix. Notice now that the number of columns in the first matrix is equal to the number of rows in the second matrix, so these two numbers must be equal, and our resulting matrix will be the size of the outside numbers. So our resulting matrix, our product matrix, will have a dimension of 2 by 1. We can multiply these matrices because the inside numbers are the same. Number of columns of the first is equal to the number of rows of the second. If I have a matrix that's 2 by 3, and I want to multiply that matrix by a 2 by 2, these inside numbers are now not the same. 3 is not equal to 2, so that matrix multiplication would be impossible. Okay, let's go here. We're going to multiply these two matrices. The first matrix is a 3 by 2. The second matrix is a 2 by 2. Notice now that the inside numbers are the same, so we can multiply those two matrices, and our outside numbers are 3 and 2, so our resulting matrix is going to have a 3 by 2 size. Our product matrix is going to be a 3 by 2. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to multiply the first row by the first column of my matrix, and I'm going to add those products, and that's going to go in this first spot, first row, first column. So in other words, I'm going to take the first row by the first column. Okay, so I'm going to do -1 times -3, so I do -1 times -3, which is 3, plus, now, I'm going to do 3 times -4. Notice I move across and down when I am multiplying, so 3 times -4 is -12, so I'm going to write that right here. 3 plus -12 is -9, and that number is going to go right here in our first column, first matrix. I'm sorry, first row, first column. First row, first column. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase just for a minute so we can see. Can't erase completely, but that's okay. I'm now going to multiply the first row by the second column. So I have -1 times 2, which is -2, plus 3 times 1, which is 3. Notice I'm going across. I'm going across and down. Across and down. So I have -1 times 2, which is -2. And I have 3 times 1, which is 3. -2 plus 3 is 1. And that's going to go in my first row, second column spot. I'm now going to do the same thing with my second row. I'm going to do second row times the first column. So I'm going to do now, let me show you here, +4 times -3. And then I'm going to do -2 times -4. Notice I'm moving across and down. So 4 times -3 is -12. -2 times -4 is +8. -12 plus 8 is -4. That's going to be in my second row, first column. I'm now going to do the same thing with my second row, second column. So I have my second row, second column. I'm going to do 4 times 2 plus -2 times 1. So I have, let me switch colors here, +4 times negative 2, times positive 2. Positive 4 times positive 2 is positive 8. And neg 2 times positive 1 is neg 2. Positive 8 plus negative 2 is negative 6. Positive 6. Holy Lord, what is wrong with me? That number goes in the second row, second column spot. And lastly, I'm going to go to the third row times the first column. Third row times the first column. I'm going to do 5 times negative 3 plus 0 times negative 4. So I do 5 times negative 3 is negative 15 plus 0 times negative 4 is 0. So this is going to be negative 15. Negative 15 plus 0. And now lastly, I'm going to do my third row times the second column. So that's going to be 5 times 2 and 0 times 1. So I have 5 times positive 2 is positive 10 plus 0 times 1 is 0. 10 plus 0 is 10, so that number goes right here. Here is our resulting matrix. Notice that it is a 3 by 2 matrix. Okay, as we look at this multiplication problem right here, this guy right here, our first matrix is a 1 by 3. Oh, I want to write that. It's 1 by 3. My second matrix is 3 by 2. We notice now, once again, my inside numbers, 3 and 3, those match. My outside numbers are 1 and 2, so I know my resulting matrix is going to be a 1 by 2. Okay, let's go now. We're going to go across the first row times this first column of the second, so across down. I'm going to do 0 times 1 plus 5 times 0 plus neg 2 times neg 1. So let's write that down now. 0 times 1 is 0 plus 5 times 0 is 0. Number of girlfriends I had in high school. And negative 2 times neg 1 is positive 2. 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 2. That's going to go right here because that is my first row, first column. I'm going to have first row, first column. I'm going to do the same thing now with my first row times the second column. So I'm going to do 0 times 3 plus 5 times 4 plus neg 2 times neg 3. So here we go. 0 times 3 is 0 plus 5 times 4 is 20 plus neg 2 times neg 3 is positive 6. I got 0 plus 20 plus 6, 26. That goes right here. Okay, my resulting matrix, sure enough, is a 1 row by 2 columns. It's a 1 by 2. First row, first column, that was this with this. And second row, first row, second column is first row times the second column right here. So my resulting matrix is a 1 by 2 matrix, 226. Let's go again. This matrix right here, the first guy is a 1 by 3. This matrix right here is a 3 by 1. The inside numbers are the same. My outside numbers are also the same, but that just gives me my size of my resulting matrix. I know I'm going to have a 1 by 1 matrix, which is just one element. So here we go. Let's go. We're going to do this row times this column, across, down, across, down. So I have 1 times 2 is 2, plus neg 2 times neg 1 is 2, pos 2, and neg 3 times 1 is neg 3. So I have 2 plus 2 minus 3, which is 1, and there's my resulting matrix, 1. Okay, let's look at this guy right here. Notice I have a 2 by 2 matrix in the first. I have a 2 by 2 matrix in the second. So if I write those down, 2 by 2 times 2 by 2. My inside numbers are the same. My outside numbers are both 2, so I know my resulting matrix is going to be a 2 by 2. So this is going to equal a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, let's look at the first row. First row, first column. So I got the first row times the first column. First row times the first column. I'm going to go across and down. Always keep moving. Always keep moving. So first row, first column. I'm going to do 3 times 1, which is 3, plus 4 times 0, which is 0. 3 plus 0 is 3. That goes in the first row, first column, first row, first column, first row, first column. Let's do the next column. So I'm going to go first row, second column, first row, second column. So I'm going to do 3 times 0, which is 0, plus 4 times 1, which is 4. 0 plus 4 is 4, and that number is going to go right here in my first row, second column. Notice I multiplied across and down. Okay, let's do the second row, first column, second row, first column, across, down. So we'll go in blue. I'm going to do negative 2 times 1, which is neg 2, plus 5 times 0 is 0. Neg 2 plus 0 is neg 2. And lastly, we're going to do second row, second column, across and down. So I'm going to do negative 2 times 0, which is 0, plus 5 times 1, which is 5. 0 plus 5 is 5. There is my resulting matrix. Notice it is a 2 by 2. I have 3, 4, neg 2, 5. And interesting, it's the same matrix as we started with. This matrix right here is very interesting, 1, 0, 0, 1. We call that the identity matrix, and we're going to learn all about that pretty soon. Can't wait for that. Okay, let's do this last guy right here. Notice we have 2 rows, 3 columns, so that's a 2 by 3. This guy right here is clearly a 3 by 3, 3 rows and 3 columns. Let's write those down. So I have a 2 by 3, and I have a 3 by 3. Okay. My inside numbers are the same. My outside numbers are 2 and 3, so I know my resulting matrix is going to be a 2 by 3. Let's do the first row, first column right now. So first row, first column. So I'm going to go 1 times neg 2 plus 0 times 1 plus 3 times neg 1. My second row, first column, would be 2 times neg 2, neg 1 times 1, 2 times neg 1. My first row, second column, would be 1 times 4, 0 times 0, 3 times 1, etc. My second row, second column, would be going across, 2 times 4, going down, neg 1 times 0, and 2 times 1. And my first row, third column, is going to be 1 times 2 plus 0 times 0 plus 3 times neg 1. My last number, it's going to go right here, is going to be 2 times 2 plus neg 1 times 0 plus 2 times neg 1. You're going to see now I have 3 answers in each row, because it's a 2 by 3 matrix. Let's do the first row together, and then you can do the second row. So here we go. I'm going to do 1 times neg 2. Okay, so I have 1 times neg 2 is neg 2. I'm doing the first row, first row, first column. I'm now going to do 0 times 1, which is plus 0. And I'm going to do 3 times neg 1, which is plus neg 3. So I have negative 2 plus 0 plus neg 3 is neg 5. That's going to go right here in my first row, first column. I'm going to do first row, second column. So I'm going to have 1 times 4, which is 4, plus 0 times 0, which is 0, and 3 times 1, which is 3. 4 plus 0 plus 3 is 7. That's first row, second column. And lastly, I'm going to do first row, third column. So I'm going to go across and down. So I'm going to do 1 times 2 is 2, plus 0 times 0, plus 3 times neg 1. 2 plus 0 plus neg 3 is neg 1. So that element goes right there in the first row, third column. I want you guys to do the second row right here. There's going to be 3 elements, 1 for each column. First 5 people they email me the correct answer on that second row, will get a bonus point on our matrix quiz. All right, boys and girls, that's all she wrote. We'll see you soon.